I'm Ivy, and welcome to B School Beats with Outlook Business. Today, you're on my campus, SP Jain Institute of Management and Research in Mumbai, and let's get a glimpse of what it's like. Today, a group of us are going to talk about what makes a good business leader.
Living in a borderless world.
Passion, sustainable leadership,
Growth mindset,
adaptability,
customer centricity,
Social responsibility.
compassionate,
agility,
value-based.
People management skills.
high emotional quotient.
Are leaders born or made? This is a long-standing debate. When I think of a good business leader, the first name that comes to my mind is Mr. Ratan Tata because of his ability to combine profits along with sustainability. What do you guys think?
Even Ratan Tata is my personal favorite. So to begin with, Mr. Ratan Tata was pursuing architecture in US, and then he came back to join the Tata group. He joined as an engineer on floors of Tata Steel. He learned the nitty-gritties of all the process by working along with the most junior level employees, and that's how he grew to be empathetic. A leader has to be very much connected to the grounds.
True. So I agree with your point totally. Just giving a global outlook here. Resilience is one of the qualities which is not talked about enough. And here I would like to talk about Jack Ma. Having been rejected from 30 jobs, he is able to create a humongous capitalist giant in a socialist country. Isn't that something? What do you guys think?
It is about identifying a need in the society. And today's tech-savvy entrepreneurs, whomever you take, they focused on a problem and base their solutions or a company itself on that.
Maybe the leader becomes even greater when he or she realizes that the society is a great stakeholder.
I would like to add to that, as you rightly mentioned, even the customer started expecting out of it. We have this 3 P's, planet, people, then profits. So it's changing. The dimension of leadership is changing.
In the starting years, starting 5 years, Amazon didn't make a penny. And still, it's being valued continuously, increasing valuation in the initial years. So it's all about focusing on stakeholders and creating something, value for your stakeholders that could disrupt the entire market.
Further talking about the qualities of leaders, they need to be socially responsible also, and they need to focus on the 3 factors, not just economic profits but social profits and environmental profits.
Let's take a short break here. See you on the other side.
According to me, a business leader is someone who is empathetic, who understands the needs of his subordinates and his colleagues.
I believe an effective leader is somebody who knows everything about his business in and out and about the industry as well.
For me, leader is not one who will have a vision and a plan. He should also have a compassion and an empathy towards the worker.
A business leader is somebody who is a good communicator, very honest and empathic person. He should have a dynamic personality.
When you look at leaders of tomorrow, I don't think there's that much of a difference between business leaders and leaders per se. So the first dimension is leaders do a very small proportion of the actual work of an organization. Therefore, the largest part of a leader's role is to see himself as serving and enabling other people to do the work. This implies listening, this implies humility, this implies collaboration. This also implies that if the leader is expecting a certain set of values, people will follow what you do and not what you say. You have to stay abreast with technology, which is changing really, really quickly. So your ability to learn as well as unlearn, because whatever makes you successful today need not and often will not make you successful tomorrow.
Let us now move this discussion further to what are the specific styles and qualities that you guys have noticed that have led to their success.
No leader can be complacent with their success. They have to keep evolving. So the person who is very agile and able to change themselves with changing technology, changing world and changing environment, business policies, be it anything. If you are agile enough to cope up with it, I think that is one of the biggest thing to sustain your leadership apart from establishing it in the first place.
I completely agree with what she said. In this volatile market, you need to be ready to learn, relearn, unlearn everything at the same time. And that's, I think, the key to success. And also, I believe you should have the grit and self-belief that, okay, whatever you're doing is going to work.
There are 2 things that I would like to mention. The first being your expertise and your knowledge in your field. When Dhirubhai Ambani was setting the petrochemical business in India, he needed a huge amount of money. That guy was a financial wizard. He did not take loans. Instead, he issued a convertible debentures, which did not result in shelling out lot of money. Siddharth Lal, when he started, the Eicher Group had more than 15 businesses. But that guy had the appetite to take risk. He sold 13 of the businesses and focused on just 2 businesses, the one being motorbike and the second being commercial vehicles. And today Eicher is the leader in premium vehicle segment.
Also like to add to the fact that how people, utilize their brain. Actually, Reliance Industries did not pay taxes for 19 straight years. That is how efficient they were in their thinking and managing the business.
I think one other aspect is having an ear on the customer, being able to listen to the customer at times when it challenges your current business processes. So one example is Agarwal Packers and Movers, and they developed a new box that is specifically made for transporting LED TVs. The company got a complaint from one of its customers pretty much late after the warranty period. The company could have chosen to not pay attention to it, but they went into the complaint, they investigated it, and they actually learned that the kind of boxes they were using before were not efficient to transport LED boxes.
I believe when this AI and we are talking about this advanced computing and AI coming up, so I think what is more important for a great leader is not just the IQ, it's more about the EQ. That how they are managing their workforce, how they are managing the people in this disrupting world. So the leaders that are focusing more on their emotional quotient is likely to become a more successful in the coming time.
Inspiration in management can come from anywhere. So you have to look at each and every nitty gritty of the company so that you will get a broader picture of your company and where the mistake is actually on.
Maybe also on a fundamental level, not looking at problems as problems but them as opportunities. We've all read the case studies of Kodak, how it failed when the entire paradigm of imaging was changing. On the other hand, there were companies like Nikon which actually specifically focused on their imaging skills and used that premise, the problem that was there, to change and venture into the printing, the photocopiers, the medical imaging businesses. So each and every problem does provide some ways where the companies can change themselves. But this can only happen if the top leadership has that vision and the ability to bring about that change, as we're discussing in this VUCA world.
Just to add on to the point, I think it's a lot more important, in addition to being customer centric, to also having a proper vision, as Hardik told. I would like to go back around 20 years down the line and emphasize on Narayan Murthy and his business model. Narayan Murthy in one of the interviews very clearly said that he's focusing on compassionate capitalism. See, this is a very interesting word. When somebody says capitalism and he is compassionate, they seem to be quite opposite to one another, but still yes, that was what his business was focusing upon.
Maybe also taking out the idea of Indra Nui. So when she was given the task of being the leader, she decided to co-integrate the ideas of a design thinking, where she went into France and looked out how design and new frameworks are coming up and used those designs, new types of presentation forms coming into back to the soft drink sector. So maybe co-integrating different areas also is required by great leaders.
So in India we have so much unstructured problem. So we have government and government officials to deal with to start a business. So that's why I learned Indian managers are successful even globally, because we have the guts and the integrity to deal with all kinds of situations.
Let's take a short break here. See you on the other side.
Somesh is very spot on. He thinks on his feet and he would want everything that Harvey Specter has, be it his money, his fame, or even girls.
Wow. Thank you, Abhinav. So when I think about Abhinav, the leader he is going to be of kind is very charismatic, very out there and risk-taking, much like Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, Prakriti probably going to be a leader who will handle tight deadlines, because we are in the same acad group and she's the one who performs in the last moment. So yes.
Thank you. Soumya, I guess, has the ability to conceive structured problem in this most unstructured world.
I believe the one leader that clearly resembles with Dwijraj is Steve Jobs. Not only from his looks, but the way he is accessible. He is an innovation maverick, and the one most important thing, he is courageous.
Well, thinking about Devansh, I feel he's a miniature version of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Though not by the physique, but by the way he structures his thought process and the way he analyzes companies and their business prospects.
So we saw the different kinds of qualities that a leader needs to survive and to actually lead the world today. All of us are going to be business leaders somewhere down the line. So what are the qualities that you guys think will be required by us to become ideal leaders for tomorrow?
In today's world, I can't be an ML expert or an AI expert. I need people who are much more intelligent than me and take them towards a common purpose or common goal, and as a team, we should achieve the goals.
Initially, we had the business scenario was when strategy was looked at in terms of 10 to 15 years. Today, that timeline has come down. So strategy, so long term, does not talk about 15 years. It talks about maybe the next 1 year or the 2 years. That is changing. The second thing is, I think, self-awareness, because that basically affects the kind of interactions a business leader would have with the multiple stakeholders and how he would manage his employees in the organization. So being aware of your own qualities, the way you think about problems, your assumptions, being aware of these things is very important.
The days that are going to come are going to be very challenging, very different, and being a successful leader will demand how patiently and how calmly, how efficiently you are going to react to those challenges, and that is what will differentiate one from the other.
We have heard about many companies like ILFS, Jet Airways. It's not just about the profits that they have failed. It's more about the corporate governance. It's more about the ethics they have followed, they have laid down to their downfall. So in this world, it is more about how you stick to your ethics, stick to your values that will define your role in the future.
Apart from thinking of profits, current business leader and those who are going to be leaders in the future need to also focus on the fact of environment, because we have already reached the threshold of environment. We cannot push that beyond this. And with governments and international organizations adding towards this approach, I think a person who wants to look at a sustainable business and sustainable profits has to give environment one of the top priorities on their podium.
Two qualities that I firmly believe in if I be a leader several years down the lines. First being a leader is an enabler. He cannot be a preacher. Making more of your employees, teaching them, focusing on their growth will be the key to the success. And secondly, constantly being customer centric. Putting yourself in the shoes of the customer in this ever changing and more demanding world is again going to be the key to growing your firm to next levels.
I think it becomes important for a business leader to understand what his customer wants and be clear with it, so that his entire business operations is driven along that way, so that the entire objective around the running of a company is achieved.
Maybe with the current OYOs and aggregators, Ubers of the world, we can see that the current business models are moving towards thin equity and more of an aggregation type of a business that we leaders need to tomorrow imagine. And in order to get these ideas into our business, the ingrained value of Vasudev Kutumbakam, that these innovations can actually flow in from anywhere of our business. Maybe the MNCs, any employee working in the organization, giving him the ability to revolutionize the entire business. So empowering the people to work in a better fashion within your organization is probably the role of the leader in itself.
To summarize, the important qualities that a leader should have to be successful for tomorrow are mainly adaptability and agility, to unlearn the things that they have learned and to relearn things that will be coming up tomorrow. Secondly, I think the gap between the higher levels in the organization and between the low level workers are actually decreasing, to create an environment where everybody can contribute, and that can lead to a greater development of the business. Here's to us being great leaders for tomorrow.